What's going on YouTube? Adam Guy here from A Guy Studios, and today I'm going to be doing my first tutorial for you for my new channel. The tutorial is going to be showing you how to download, install and how to use Fraps, and hopefully giving you a better understanding of what Fraps is and what it does. Basically, for those who don't know what Fraps is a real-time screen recorder, bit like Hypercam, except from it actually records sort of real time. Where some of you find Hypercam has a little bit of a lag to it, Fraps is an actual sort of one-to-one recorder, so it records exactly what's happening on the screen. So when you play it back, it plays back in 1080p and at the proper sort of, proper sort of play speeds. There's no lag. Fraps, it's mainly used, I would say, for gameplay, recording sort of gameplay. It can be used for recording tutorial videos or just general recording your screen, really. It is a very, very good piece of software. Only thing I will say, it is very frame rate intensive. E.g., if you're looking at, say, recording Flight Simulator, obviously Flight Sim, we all know, for those that use Flight Sim, has its frame rate issues anyway. You need to do a bit of tweaking on the actual FSX file. There's also stuff like the video inspector and other stuff that you can use for ATI cards. I won't be showing you any of that, though, not today, but mostly this is just sort of showing you where to get Fraps from, sort of how to download it. I won't be actually doing an install video, but it's self-explanatory. It's just simply just click yes, yes, yes all the way through the install, and it will install for you. Right, first of all, I'll show you how to get Fraps. What you want to do is come to your internet browser and simply just type in Fraps, full version free, or free Fraps, anything like that. And what you want to do is come to this page here, which is the top one, which is frapsfull.blogspot.com. What you want to do is you want to click on that, and what this does is this then loads up all the current versions of Fraps that you can download. I would recommend obviously downloading the latest version. It'll be the best one, basically. It'll probably be the more stable version, and it'll just be the better one. It's always best to try and have the most current version of any software, really, whether it be in Fraps or just any software in general. It's always nice to have the latest version, and all you simply do to download it is click on this link here. So if you click on that, ignore this is just crap that likes to pop up, and all you then do is just hit download. And what that will do is that will then, excuse my internet, it's being a bit slow. It's BT, really. It's the only way to put that. It is BT fibre optic. It's a bit poo, shall we say. In fact, it's been very, very crap today. But it is, 30 minutes past 6. It's obviously quite a busy time. Oh, I was on the download. Okay, right. It's not loading the page. It's probably because I'm recording. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and close the browser down. Right. Once the file downloads, it will download as a zip file. You will need WinRAR, PowerISO, sort of anything like that. And the way to do this, actually one thing I will mention, the file here won't say Fraps like mine does. Basically, I rename mine because obviously I have all my software in folders, so if I ever done a system restore, I've got everything ready to access. I know what is what, and it just makes it simpler, and also it's just nicer to know what is what, because sometimes you download files and it'll be like Fraps 129 da 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 da, and it's long. You don't want all that writing. You just literally just want it to say what it is. Once the file downloads, obviously it will download into your downloads section. For those on Windows 7, I'm guessing it's the same for Windows 8. I don't know, I don't like it. So it sounds a bit crude, but I don't. I think Windows 8 should be for phones and tablets and should stay completely away from desktops. But I don't own Microsoft, so I unfortunately don't have a say in that. Once the file downloads, I think it's easier to sort of just copy it to your desktop. And for those that are using Renoir, all you want to do is right click on it and extract to Fraps dash. What that will do, so I'll do that now, is that will just extract it to a folder, basically onto your desktop. Once that's done, literally just open up the folder and just hit the install the application file there. That will then install Fraps. Like I said, it is just a simple yes, yes, yes. Save it here and it will install. I won't actually be doing it because I've got Fraps already installed and I don't really want to start messing around with it, basically. Once that's installed, so let's get rid of these because I don't obviously. Oh, let's get rid of these because these are just a copy. Don't want those. Once Fraps is installed, it will leave a nice little desktop icon like this on your desktop. Basically, simply to load Fraps up, you just double click the desktop, hit yes, and that will load this up. I am currently recording this video through Fraps, so you're getting a sort of a preview of what Fraps is like, shall we say. I will put a bit of gameplay at the end of this video as well, so you can see what it's like downloading it, or so you can see what it's like when it's being used, basically. Right, the first page, general. Most of this, to be fair, is pretty self-explanatory. It's like here you've got start Fraps minimized to basically when your Windows boots up or your PC loads up, it will start Fraps automatically, but it will start minimized. So it will either be down here, sorry, or it will be in your little task folder file thing there, basically. Run Fraps always on top, which basically means Fraps, it's always running on top of your Windows. So a bit later on, I'll explain about this FPS button here, and what that'll do is if you've, say, got it to show your frames per second, it will show normally in one of the corners, either up here, down here, but like I said, I'll show you that as well. Run Fraps when Windows starts, that's pretty self-explanatory. That will just load Fraps up. As soon as your Windows boots up, it will boot Fraps up and it will pop up on your screen like this. Monitor Aero Desktop, right, this one. This has to be checked if you want to record your desktop, as I'm doing now. If this isn't checked, if this isn't checked, Fraps won't record your desktop. It will only record, say, games, videos, etc. It won't be able to record your desktop. So if you're looking to use Fraps to record your desktop, make sure this is always clicked. Also, you have to have your Windows theme set as an Aero theme, so you can't have, say, Windows 7 basic theme. It won't work. It has to be an Aero theme. If you're not sure how to do that, you just literally right click on your desktop, go to personalize, and if you see themes here, these are all your Aero themes. It will record if any of these themes set, but none of these. So I obviously run the Windows 7 theme with a custom background. That's fine, belongs your actual PC set to an Aero theme, it will record the desktop. Minimise the system tray. Once again, I'm guessing that just sort of minimises it down to here for you. Yeah, that's basically it. It'll just sort of minimise it into there for you, so you can access it through there. Right, next page. One thing I will say, this is not, like I said, where it's a downloaded version of Fraps, it's not I didn't pay for it. I know it's bad and it's always copyright and everything, but let's be honest, sometimes there's bits of software out there which you shouldn't really have to pay for. Prime example, Hypercam, you get a free version of Hypercam. You can probably get a trial version of Fraps, but it's not going to allow you to do what you want to do. So unfortunately for those of us out there that don't earn great money or aren't on a great wage and can't afford to buy loads and loads of software, unfortunately downloading sometimes is an option, is the only option. Right, if we come over to this FPS page here, if you see, right, first of all we'll start with benchmarking. What benchmarking is, I don't actually know, to be honest with you. There is probably other videos out there that would explain benchmarking in a lot more detail for you. I don't actually know what it is, to be honest with you. I've never used it. I never intend to use it really. I'm guessing it's a way of sort of seeing how your games are running on various settings, so you could get it to record for, say, hit 60 seconds, so it will record 60 seconds. And like here you can tick your FPS, your minimums and averages. So yeah, it's more, benchmarking's more for monitoring your frame rate. So say for instance, if you were looking at tweaking FSX, you would benchmark with your original. So before you've done any tweaks, anything like that. So you would see what sort of frames you're getting. You'd then do your tweaks and you'd then benchmark it again and see what your average frames would be compared to what they used to be. Right, over here, if you can see here, it says hide overlay or overlay corner, basically. What this is it's basically, if I click on it, you should see here, it pops up into the corner. This is what your frames per second is. So basically, this is what it's recording at. If you're looking at, say, doing flight sim videos and you're trying to find out what your frames are, leave this ticked or come over to the benchmarking section, basically, and that will tell you what your frames are. Obviously, I'm only on the desktop, so I should be getting, like, it keeps popping up at 30 frames a second or whatever, but where I don't move anything now, it'll just sit at 3 because it's not actually doing anything. But when you move around, you want it recording. I've got mine locked at 30 frames a second, basically. I don't know if the rules have changed when sort of obviously all this gameplay and everything started to come out. YouTube, I believe, only can accept videos at 30 frames a second. So even though we would all like to run at 60 frames, I don't actually know if YouTube now support that. Might be a thing to go and look up possibly. Like I said, don't quote me on it. But it's best just to record at 30 frames. Like I said, I do a lot of flight simulator stuff, e.g. the amount of videos on my channel. So I know that my flight sim is actually locked at 30 frames a second through my tweaking. So I will record at 30 frames a second. There's no point me trying to record at 60 because the actual game itself isn't putting out at 60 frames a second. So it would just look horrible. It'd look really bad. And also I wouldn't want to record a massive video to find out that YouTube won't accept it. Right, that's this page basically. I like to leave mine hid away when I'm recording. Obviously not everyone wants to see what your frames are. They want to see what's on your screen really. They don't want to see all other stuff going on. But like I said, if you're trying to record to show off your, in a way this more is, if you were doing flight sim or other games, basically you would have this on to show off what frames you can produce. That's really all it's good for, or seeing what frames you're hitting. But for general recording, I would sort of recommend just leaving it unticked. It's user preference really, isn't it? It's whatever you want to do. If you like to leave it on and see what frames you're recording at, then that's fine. You leave it on. It doesn't. I don't think it has any effect on your actual recording or your actual frames. It's just going to display a number in whichever corner you put. So top left, bottom right, top right, etc. Back to that and hide. Right. next page, movies. This is your main page, basically. If anyone is looking to use Fraps, this is your main page. This is the page you're going to be spending most of your time on, because this is basically the main recording page. I'll start from left to right and I'll explain basically what everything does and what you should have it on, really. Right, the top bit here, folder to save movies in, that's self-explanatory. That's wherever you want your movies to be saved. I've actually got 2 hard drives in my PC, I know, lucky. I have a 120 gig SSD, which is running Flight Simulator and my OS. It has been a bit of a tight squeeze since I've obviously started to install Orbec or whatever it is, or Orbex or whatever you want to call it. Obviously it's starting to get into a bit of a tight squeeze because they're quite large files, but I mainly run all my other videos and games, etc., from my D file, which is a nice terabyte hard drive. Video capture key, basically what this is this is the key that's going to start the recording and stop the recording. I now have, well, I actually have sort of extra buttons on my mouse which I don't use during flight sim or any other stuff, so I've just set one of those excuse me, I've just set one of those to record, basically, because it's easier. It's just a click on the mouse. I haven't got to be looking for buttons on my keyboard, or I don't have to go through my flight sim config to see what buttons I'm using and what buttons I'm not using. I can just hit one button and I know it's not going to affect any of the games or anything else, and it's just going to start recording, basically. You can set this to whatever you want. Once again, it's user preference. So if you have a key that you know on your keyboard you don't use, set it as that, basically. Don't obviously sell it as a key that you use mainly, because, like, for prime example, your home screen button, don't sell it as your home screen button, because every time you go to your home screen, if Fraps is loaded, it will start recording, and before you know it, you're going to end up taking up hard drive space without even knowing you're doing it, really. Video capture settings. Now, ideally, you should set it to 30 frames a second. But to be honest with you, I normally leave mine at 29.97. I don't know why. I seem to get slightly better quality. Like I said, it's with Flight Sim, it's never exactly 30 frames a second. For those who play Flight Sim and those who do Flight Simulator, will know what I mean by frame rate. Sorry, is a big factor on Flight Sim. Obviously, like I said, there's tweaks, but I like to leave it set at that. It seems to work nice and look quite nice, to be honest with you. I will have a play around with it and possibly try and make it look a little bit better, but like I said, once again, it's user preference, but I would certainly not recommend going any higher than 30, either 30 or 29.97, which is basically 30 frames, basically. Loop buffer length 30 seconds. Don't actually know what that means, to be honest with you, so I'm not even going to attempt to explain it, because I'll probably say something completely wrong and I'll end up sounding like an idiot. Split movie every 4 gigs. Basically what this is, I will be honest with you, when you record through Fraps, the files are huge. Obviously it's recording in HD, so as you can imagine, the size of the files are pretty big. I mean, I recorded a flight sim video and I think it clocked nearly 20 gigs in size by the time I was done. Obviously I then rendered it out through another bit of software and done all my add-ins and all that lot through Windows Movie Maker, which obviously then takes the size down significantly, a lot. I can't get my words out today, sorry, it's been a long day. So that's a good way. If you wanted to, basically what this button does is every 4 gigs, it'll sort of start recording as another video. So say you wanted to do a video which was, I don't know, 16 gig, for instance, you would have 4 separate videos at 4 gigs each. I like to just leave it off so it just records one straight video. Like I said, I am running an external terabyte well, not an external, sorry, a separate terabyte hard drive in my PC, and I also have an external terabyte hard drive as well. So for me, really, memory is not an issue as far as saving goes, because once the video is actually done, it's straight into Windows Movie Maker, and it's re-rendered and everything through there, which takes the size of it down quite a lot. As long as you obviously delete your original videos, you won't have a problem. Sound capture settings, right. Stereo basically means it record Win7 sound, self-explanatory. It will record the sounds your PC makes. So if you're playing a game, it will record all the sound going through or coming out, whatever's coming out of your telly or headset or speakers will be recorded basically. Now, I always recommend leaving this on because, let's be honest, if you're doing a video, you're not going to want to listen to it on mute. Stereo, I believe, is single channel, sort of a single channel recording as well. So say you was running a microphone, which you would also click on down here. Basically, what this does is this allows you to sort of record a mic on a single sort of stereo. So it will record the PC sound, and it will record, once you've selected also your mic input or anything down there, it will then also record your voice, but it's your voice only. So say you're chatting to someone on Skype and you wanted to record it, it will only record you. It won't record the other person. If you want to record both sides, then you just simply switch to multi-channel, and then that will record your PC sound, your mic, and anyone else's mic. So, prime example, if you're doing a flight on VATSIM, and obviously you want to record the air traffic control, you want to have multi-channel selected. If you click stereo, it will only record what you say to them. It won't record what it says, what they say to you. So if you want that, then you hit multi-channel. On the external device, I leave mine on stereo. On external device, it says here basically only capture whilst pushing. Basically, what this is sort of like a push to talk button for Fraps. Basically, it will only record your mic if you press a certain button. So, say here it says spacebar. I haven't actually got a mic set up. I'll be honest with you. I'm recording this on my phone. Sound-wise, so that's why it might sound a bit up and down and here and there. I have got a set of Turtle Beach headphones with a mic, but they were bought for my Xbox, so the cable they sent with it actually only fits into an Xbox 360 pad, which is a smaller jack. I don't know what the size is, but I need to basically get an adapter to either convert it to a proper 3.5, I think it's 3.5, I'm not sure, or I need an adapter basically to convert it from a small jack to a normal size, headphone size jack, so we say. But basically, yeah, what this will do is it will, once you press, say, the space button, it will then record your voice. Once you let go of the space button, it will then stop recording your voice. Quite good, like I said, if you're playing VATSIM, because you could be off flying player. Quite good, sorry, if you're playing flight sim. Because like I said, if you're on VATSIM but you're talking to air traffic control, you can hit the space key and it will record you and your air traffic control. But then if you just want to cut your mic off but still be able to talk to, say, other people in your room or whatever without it actually recording that, it's actually really good. But like a video, say like this tutorial where I'm talking all the time, it's no good because I'm going to have to constantly be sitting there pressing a button. So obviously I have that unchecked where I don't actually have an external input, so this to me doesn't bother me. But for most people that have a mic, make sure Windows 7 sounds recorded. Like I said, if it's just you want to record stereo, make sure you select your external mic or whatever you've got, and then if you want to have a push to record, shall we say, talk button, then you would set that on the bottom there. Underneath that, you have hide mouse sensor and video. Basically, that's self-explanatory. That just means when you're recording, you won't see this little thing flying around the screen. Can be good on flight sim, I suppose, if you're making a movie and you're not really doing cockpit videos, because obviously you're not going to want to see the mouse, you're just going to want to see what's on the screen. Lock frame rate whilst recording. I'm guessing that will lock your frames, basically. So say I've got it set at 30, I think it only allows it to go up to that. So say you've got games that can run at 60 frames a second. If you hit the lock frames and you've got this set to 30, I'm pretty sure it will only allow it to run at 30 frames a second. Not 100%, but it's that's what I believe this does. False looseless RGB capture may be slower. I don't know what that does. As soon as I see anything that says it may slow it down, I leave it alone. I want my videos to be as nice and as smooth as possible. I don't like jagged videos or laggy videos or bad frames, and that's why I've spent so much time sort of tweaking my FSX file, because FSX is the sort of game, like I said, it is again frame rate intensive, and if you don't have flight sim set up correctly and tweaked correctly, it can look like a pile of shit. It is the only way to put it. It can look horrible. But as far as this movies page goes, that's sort of it really. There's not much more to sort of say on that. It's most of it all is self-explanatory really, and a lot of it's try and error with Fraps. It's you sort of twiddle around, and it's whatever you think is good, whatever your PC specifications are. I mean, I'll be honest with you, they're quite high, to be fair. I'm running a AMD FX 6350 processor, which is at 3.9 gigahertz or hertz or whatever it is. I'm running a NVIDIA GTX 750 Ti graphics card, which is quite a nice graphics card. I've got 8 gigs of Kingston HyperX RAM, obviously 2 hard drives, so I can have everything sort of turned up quite high on most games. For some people, obviously they don't have that sort of power available. So they have to have things slightly turned down, and that's where you can just tweak your Fraps to work with your PC. Basically, don't try and make it record more or do more than your PC can handle, because it just looks horrible. Another thing I forgot to mention down here is full size and half size. Same again, full size means it records everything. Half size basically means it doesn't. This again is more on PC memory and stuff like that. The more memory you've got available, I would recommend full size anyway, to be fair. It's worth it. It looks a lot nicer. I think also it also goes on what you're recording as well on that. Right, next page is screenshots, and this is basically this is the easiest page basically. This is self-explanatory again. Destination where it's going to be saved to is up the top, so once again I've got mine set using Frap Movie, so all my screenshots and videos all go to the same file on my D drive, so I know anything I've recorded on Fraps, I can just go straight to that folder and it will be there. Screen capture key, again I've got mine set to mouse 4, which is the same, which is just a button above. Once again, it's not used on my mouse, so I thought I'd just set my screenshot as that. Image format, I tend to stick to JPG. Don't know why, it's just, I mean, I know you've got BMP and all those, but I just prefer JPG. Just seems to be a lot easier. It opens up a lot quicker on my PC, and I just prefer those. It's just something I'm used to. Screen capture settings, basically again, include frame rate overlay on screenshots. That's what that was. That's what this is. So it will include that basically, which once again, if you're trying to show off what frames you get, great. If you're not, don't bother with it. And another thing here is repeat screen capture every 10 seconds until hotkey is pressed again. Basically, self-explanatory. If I tick this, and hit my screenshot capture, it will take a screenshot every 10 seconds until I hit that button again. That is it, basically. It's you know what I mean, it's self-explanatory on most of it, to be fair. Trying to think if there's anything I've missed. Like I said, on the benchmarking, I'm not 100%, so I'm probably not the best video to watch if you're looking at how to benchmark. I will learn more about it and possibly do an updated version of this video, including the benchmark, but where I don't ever use it, I don't ever sort of need to learn it, sort of thing. It's one of those things, if you don't use it or don't need it, then there's no point spending time learning it. If you're never going to use it, it's no point. Yeah, that is it, basically. That is Fraps in a nutshell, really. It's pretty simple. There's not much to it, to be honest with you. There really isn't much to it. One thing I will say, a best way to find out if you're recording, obviously, if you have this, as you can see here, the numbers are red. That means I'm recording. If they're yellow, it means you're not, basically. So it's a good way to check if you have your FPS in the corner. If you don't, like myself, then the best way to check, if you come down to your little task menu down here, if you see tiny little symbol of a screen, numbers next to it, if the numbers are red, you're recording. If they're yellow, you're not. Simple as, basically. So if you're, say you're doing like a video like that and you think, oh, I'm not too sure if I've pressed the button again. Literally, no, I'm still recording. Excellent. Crack on. And you keep going, basically. I hope this tutorial has helped. It is my first tutorial for my new channel, A-Guy Studios. I do have another channel, which is GamerAdam10. I will be honest with you, I will not be uploading any more content to that channel. That's been going about 2 years now, and it's got a mixture of everything on it, really. It's got some golf videos. I mean, I'm a very keen golfer. I actually work at a golf course, so I do like to get a lot of videos of me and my friends playing, a few trick shots and etc. I've also got some other sort of videos on there. I have got another Fraps tutorial on that channel, but I thought I wanted to just redo it where it's a new channel, do everything fresh, and try and do it a bit better. I mean, yeah, feel free to obviously check that channel out, but I will be concentrating mainly on this channel, A-Guy Studios. I hope you guys find this video helpful. Please feel free to leave any comments or like the video or subscribe. I appreciate any subscriber I get at the moment. I appreciate any like I get. I appreciate any views I get at the end of the day. I mean, I'm trying to make something of this. I'm trying to dedicate more time to this actual YouTube channel. That's sort of the reason why I didn't really get on with the other one. It was, I uploaded videos here and there, and they just wasn't very good, really. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop over to some gameplay for you so you can see Fraps working on a game. What should we do? What game can we show? We'll go with the evil with him. I think Minecraft doesn't really show anything off. Flight Sim, it would take me 20 years to set it up before I was happy with what I'd show you. The Sims, it's The Sims, you don't need to see that. So I'll do a little gameplay of the evil within. It'll probably be about 30 seconds to a minute, something like that. It'll just give you an idea of what it's like. But once again, thank you for clicking on this video and watching. Please comment, like I said, any sort of, if you feel there's any way I could do this tutorial better, if you think there's anything I've missed, anything I've been a bit too, maybe I might have spoken too fast, maybe I might not have explained things as clearly as you would have liked. If so, put a message in the comment. I'm open to all comments. Obviously, I don't want none of this, oh, you've missed this and you're crap and all this. Because it's shut up. No one likes people like you. Basically, you're just sad and spend your whole life picking on people that are trying to do well. Trollers, that's aimed at, obviously. But yeah, please feel free to leave a comment. I'm going to switch over to some gameplay now for you, and once again, thank you for watching this video, and my name is Adam Guy, and I am the creator of A Guy Studios. Thank you very much, guys, and goodbye.